It began with a tremor, not one of the earth, but of something deeper, a ripple through reality itself. Galaxies paused in their dance. Stars flickered nervously in distant corners of the universe. Somewhere between dimensions, something ancient stirred. The heart of the monster was awake. In the ruins of a city long forgotten by the rest of the world, silence reigned, until the silence was broken by footsteps, not heavy, but deliberate. A man walked alone, his white cape drifting in the stale air. His gloves were clean, his boots untarnished. His expression was blank. Saitama, the man who had defeated everything. He had chased rumors, flickers of interest, desperate for a challenge. Some whispered of a being that had torn through hell itself, that had fought gods and refused to fall. Saitama followed the whispers with the indifference of a man long past hope. He had forgotten what adrenaline felt like. Then he saw him, kneeling. In the crater of his own making, wrapped in shadow and steam, was a giant cloaked in rage. Veins glowed like lava across his body. The air warped around him. His breath was thunder, and as he rose, the ground beneath him shattered into dust. His eyes met Saitama's, and in that instant, the world held its breath. Bruce Banner was gone. What stood now was pure will, the unfiltered embodiment of anger, grief, defiance. The heart of the monster Hulk didn't snarl or roar. He didn't need to. His existence was a threat, a storm caged in muscle and soul. Saitama tilted his head. "Are you the one everyone's so scared of?" The Hulk didn't answer with words. He answered with a step forward. One single footfall, and the buildings behind Saitama collapsed from the shockwave. Saitama blinked. That's new." Then came the voice. Not from Hulk, but around him. The skies above darkened unnaturally. Dimensional fractures danced along the clouds like lightning made of glass. Voices echoed, "He who was denied peace shall now take it by force." The Hulk had made a wish to the Chaos Gods to be left alone. But reality had interpreted that wish as a command to remove all that would disturb him. He had become a living reset button, his rage eliminating anything that posed a threat to his solitude. And now the last such threat stood before him. Saitama sighed and cracked his knuckles. "Okay, big guy. Let's see what you got." Before another word, he could form, Hulk charged. The first impact split the earth for 100 miles. Mountains cracked, oceans pulled back, birds vanished. Saitama blocked the punch casually, but his feet slid for the first time. Dust and debris spiraled into space. He smiled, but Hulk wasn't done. Fist after fist rained down. Saitama deflected, dodged, parried, but with each strike the monster grew faster, more focused, more personal. Hulk's rage wasn't mindless anymore, it was surgical. It hunted pressure points, measured timing, and adapted. "You're different," Saitama murmured, leaping back, now visibly engaged. "You're not just a musclehead, you're learning." Hulk roared, and his voice cracked the sky open. From the wound in reality, fire and void poured like rain. His punch followed, and this time, Saitama flew. Across countries, through a continent, until he crashed through an ocean and emerged, skipping across waves like a stone. He stopped himself mid-flight, still smiling, but his lip was bleeding. Saitama touched the drop of red. He looked at it in quiet wonder. He had forgotten what that felt like. He rocketed back. The second collision tore through the fourth dimension. Time warped, light bent. Observers across the cosmos saw stars flicker and vanish. Ancient beings paused. One whispered, "The rage and the void have met." Saitama and Hulk traded blows that became abstract, no longer punches, but clashes of ideology. Hulk fought for solitude, for peace he could never have. Saitama fought for purpose, for the one thing that always slipped from his grasp. And in that clash, something began to grow. Emotion. Hulk, once a beast of unending fury, now looked at Saitama not with hate, but something deeper, a recognition. "You're not like them," he growled for the first time. "You're empty." Saitama didn't flinch. "And you're full of too much rage, grief, guilt." Another punch, another world trembled. They stood, panting, neither one smiling now. For the first time, they were equals, not in power alone, but in pain. Saitama lowered his fists. "I thought fighting you would fix it. The boredom, the pointlessness." Hulk narrowed his eyes. "And I thought crushing you would bring peace." The wind died. The earth was gone beneath them, reduced to a void. Only floating debris and remnants of space-time remained. Both warriors stared across the silence, two titans chained by different demons, one by rage, the other by apathy, one who wanted peace, one who wanted meaning. And as their eyes met again, the atmosphere cracked. Once more, round two was coming, but this time, neither of them wanted to end it quickly. Time no longer held sway here. The place where Hulk and Saitama now stood was not Earth or space, or even a dimension known to gods. It was the wound left by their clash, a battlefield made of broken time, shattered laws of physics, and the lingering echoes of their souls. The dust of annihilated realities floated like ash. Planets hung broken in the void. Nothing lived here except two beings who shouldn't exist. One, a man forged by unending rage. The other, a man cursed by absolute strength. Hulk stood tall, muscles pulsing with molten fury, veins glowing like magma. His body was cracked in places from the force of Saitama's blows, but his will was whole, reinforced by pain, sharpened by loss. Saitama floated across from him, no longer grinning. His yellow suit was tattered, his cape hung in strips. He had never fought this long, never bled this much, never felt this uncertain. "You're still standing," he said, almost softly. Hulk's voice was low and thunderous. "I stand because I must. There is no peace for me unless I earn it." Saitama launched first. The collision was a supernova inside a black hole. Shockwaves didn't just travel. They rewrote the physics of existence in their path. Every punch became a language, a scream of purpose. They weren't fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting for meaning. Saitama struck with everything, speed faster than causality, punches so heavy that matter collapsed before contact. He unleashed his serious series like a meteor storm. Punches stacked atop punches, layered with explosive force. But Hulk, he endured. Each blow tore his flesh, but from the blood, more strength rose. His rage was no longer a blind explosion. It was refined, targeted, emotional. Every punch he returned came with memory. Of Betty, of Banner, of pain and betrayal. He wasn't just smashing, he was remembering. He grabbed Saitama mid-punch, slammed him into a collapsing star, and followed through with a roar so powerful it bent light backward. Saitama erupted from the wreckage, panting. "You're not slowing down," he whispered. "I don't slow," Hulk growled. "I break." Saitama rocketed forward again, but this time Hulk was ready. He caught Saitama's next punch, not blocked, not dodged, caught. The impact fractured Hulk's arm at the elbow, but his other fist came around, full force, full rage, full heart, and struck Saitama in the chest. Saitama's breath left him. His eyes widened. That had hurt. He flew back, slammed through the floating bones of extinct planets, and stopped himself mid-spin, only to be met by Hulk, who appeared in front of him like a judgment. "You're strong," Hulk said, voice cracking the air. "But strength without why is just noise." He hit him again, harder. Saitama coughed blood. For the first time in his life, he was losing. "Why are you still fighting?" he rasped, trying to rise. "What's left to prove?" Hulk looked down at him, eyes burning green and ancient. Because I feel, because I hurt, because if I stop now, everything I've endured means nothing. Saitama rose again, staggering. I wanted you to be the end of it. The final fight. Something to finish this chapter of my life. Hulk nodded. Then let it end. They charged. Final blow. Saitama unleashed his ultimate attack. Death consecutive serious series. Void splitter punch. A strike that sliced dimensions, shattered dark energy, and threatened to erase them both. Hulk met it with a punch wrapped not in energy but emotion, rage, grief, memory, will, a living detonation of trauma and power. His arm snapped, his shoulder dislocated, but his fist landed. Saitama's body bent around it. The explosion that followed silenced the multiverse for a heartbeat. Time stuttered, gods turned away. When the light faded, Saitama lay broken in the debris of infinity. Conscious but unmoving, eyes wide, mouth slightly open. You actually won. Hulk stood over him, barely alive, bleeding from everywhere, bones visible beneath torn skin, but upright, defiant, victorious. I didn't win, Hulk said, kneeling beside him. I just didn't lose. Saitama laughed softly, painfully. That's all I ever wanted, a reason to try. And then he passed out. Hulk stood alone now, the void around him still. The war was over, not because he destroyed his enemy, but because his enemy had finally found peace. And in doing so, so had he.